In this video, let's see how you can use iMarq for your day-to-day maintenance activities. We are going to see two screens here. One is iMarq website, using which as a manager or a supervisor, you will be able to create work orders and assign it to mechanic and technicians. And mechanic and technicians can use either their iPhone or Android phone or a smartphone. So any device of their choice to um, create the inspections and the work order task updates from their end. Now first what I'm going to do is I'm going to log in as manager at IST, and you will have your own user ID and password. It will be set up in the system, and when you log in, based on the role that you are performing, these menus will get loaded, and that's the asset module where all the existing assets will be imported. Now once the assets are imported, you will be able to go ahead and click on this work order and then click on create here, which will allow you to create a work order. Now some of these items can be defaulted so that the data entry is less, but in this case what I'm going to do is I'm going to say there is a maintenance task. Say for example, you know, there is an oil leak, right? Say engine oil leak, something like that, right? There is an issue, okay, that you want to that you want the mechanic to be working on, right? So you go ahead and enter the job name and then select the asset that is associated with it. You can search it from the list of assets. In this case, we'll go with truck 1012, and then the type of service itself, it's a maintenance task, so that you can select, and it could be a critical or non-critical, whatever that you want to select. And these priorities also is configurable in the system, where you can come back and tell us that it should be low, medium and high. We can do that too. So it's a configuration. Out of the box we say critical and non-critical, and say engine oil leak, please check the leak in engine compartment. Right, something like that. You will be able to enter the detailed description of that issue itself, and then what you will do is you will come back here and then enable a form here, which a mechanic can go ahead and update his values, right, or his observations, or once the maintenance task is done, he or she will be able to update the task itself, right? So that work order task update form, and you can again copy and paste this same description here, and you can assign it to a group of mechanics or a one single mechanic. In this case, I'm going to assign it to user 01, right? So once I do that, and then once I go ahead and submit, this work order gets created in the system with an auto number, which you will see here. So that's the 11 is the work order that got created just now, which is in the assigned state, and it is assigned to this specific user, right? So now, as a manager or as a supervisor, your job is done, where you have assigned this task to a mechanic. Now the mechanic can go ahead and access these tasks using his mobile device and work on it, right? Once the mechanic starts working on it, you will see the task status here and the associated report number here, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift the session to my phone here. So let me bring the phone to the screen. So that's the iPhone. I'm going to use the iPhone, and the app wise, that's the app that we are talking, iMarq app, which is the standard app. Again, you can use your iOS device or Android device, smartphone or tablet, and we support both the platforms. And with your username and password, you can go ahead and sign in. Now, once you sign in, you will see these transactions, right? In this case, what you can also do is you will be able to create an annual vehicle inspection using the mobile device. You will be able to create a driver vehicle inspection report using this button here, or whatever that work order that was created that are assigned to you will show up here in this my work queue, right? So when I go ahead and click on this my work queue here, right, it will go ahead and load all the tasks that are assigned to that mechanic at any given point of time. Like I mentioned earlier, for creating an annual inspection report, you can click on that annual inspection report and it will load the inspection report itself for you to go ahead and create it, which we will see that in a moment, right? So let me go back here. Now we have created a work order and it is already assigned to that user. And when you go into my work queue, right, it will show up there with the appropriate engine oil leak, which we just now created, and we also entered that defect command, right, which has the truck number and everything. So from the mechanic or a technician perspective, they can go ahead and update that work order with that appropriate status. So if I go down there, right, from the status perspective, the mechanic will be able to say whether he is waiting for parts, because say there is a oil seal or gasket has started leaking, so you need to change the gasket or whatever that part you are waiting for. You can put a parts hold or a generic hold for some reason, or completed, right? That task may have been completed. So in this case, what I'll do is I'll put it as parts hold, and then I'll put an ETA. I know part is going to show up tomorrow, so this job should be done by tomorrow, which is I entered the date here, right? Sorry, that is the time, and I can say okay, by tomorrow 10 a.m. this should be done, right? So like that, I can give an ETA there, and there is a parts hold, and I can say I can go ahead and enter additional commands here. For entering additional commands, I can either use the keyboard or I can enable the speech to text option here, right? So you click on that mic and then you can talk to the app. Ordered the oil filter and waiting for it. Like this, you will be able to talk to the app and it automatically types it for you. So there is a speech to text. You can also take before images and after images, like here is the oil leak that is happening and here is that oil leak that was fixed. Like for example, I can go ahead and click on this image icon. I can upload up to 4 images. So in this case, I'm going to just take the photo of my keyboard, right? I'll go ahead and say, assuming that this is the engine compartment, right? So instead of that, I'll retake because I don't want me there. So okay, there you go, that's the picture. And then you can say use the photo as is, or you can go and circle the problem. Basically you go there and then annotate on top of it, right, saying that hey, check this section of the engine, that is where the oil leak is starting to come, something like that, right? You can go ahead and write on top of it. So this picture also will get stored along with this the update itself, so that anybody who wants to view the status of this specific task, they will be able to access it either using mobile or either using the website, right? So you can go ahead and click on save here so that this information is saved. Now for you to come back and then address this issue back, when you go back to the work queue, right, that work order will go out of your queue because that work order was open before you started the activity. Now it has gone to the change existing view because that job is already started. So it's not a new work anymore. Any new work is the one that is going to show up here, whereas the ongoing jobs will show up in change existing. So if I go there, that engine oil leak shows up there, and then if you can go back and update it the way and shape you wanted, right? And also again, whatever picture that you uploaded shows up here. Similarly, from the back office perspective, now I am going to go to this web. From there, so earlier it was having task status was blank and it was in the assigned status. Now when the supervisor goes ahead and checks this work order, right, now it is report is already created. It has gone from assigned status to whatever that status that is associated with that specific work order. Not only that, he or she will be able to access the PDF of that specific task, which will have the appropriate status and also the appropriate image that was uploaded with it. So like this, the manager will be able to see the status of all these tasks that are being carried out. And remember, the mechanic will also be able to filter these tasks by the asset. Now that's from the work order perspective. Now there is also a menu called field report here, and when you click on that from the manager or supervisor or even the mechanic and technician perspective, when they are sitting in the desk, they can use this browser to access all the reports that are basically created from the field, right? And if you notice, this task has been started and there is parts hold for that specific task which we just now updated, right? So now here also, say for example this asset is 1012, you will be able to filter all these reports by unit number, and you can say, hey, bring all the maintenance work and the inspection that were done for that specific asset which is 1012, and it will go ahead and bring up everything, right? Like that you will be able to filter the data also using the web. I'm going to click on this reset here so that it loads all the records. Now like this, on a day-to-day basis, any task that needs to be performed, you will be able to create a work order, assign it to a mechanic starts working on it, and he uploads the information. We can also add start time, end time, so that you will be able to see the time consumed. We can enable parts and things like that in coming phases. Now I would also like to touch upon the annual inspection report, right? So I'm going to click on back here. Let me go back here, and then I'm going to click on this annual vehicle inspection report. This is a report. A form was sent to us by the team and we went ahead and configured, and it had all these values here. So what I'm going to do is just going to go ahead and select a asset there, which is again 1012. I can either use the selection option here, or if there is a barcode on the asset itself, I will be able to scan the barcode. So for that, you just click on that barcode icon there, which is here, barcode button here, which brings up the barcode, and then you just scan the barcode and it grabs it and puts it. So if there is a barcode there for that asset number, you will be able to scan the barcode. No additional devices are required. You just click on it and it will basically bring the asset number here on this field. And date, we are defaulting it to today's date. And then it's a truck, we know that it's a truck. And then if I go down there and then brake system, right, like this, we will be able to say okay, or needs repair, or not applicable. Now when you say it needs repair, if you notice, the comment has become mandatory, right? So if I try to submit, it will come back and say, hey, you need to enter not only the current mileage, but you have to enter the comments also. Like this, we will be able to enable validation, but on top of it, you will be able to save this inspection any number of times. Whereas when you want to submit and complete that inspection, you should have submit and complete that inspection, you should have entered all the lines with appropriate validations, right? And similar to the maintenance task that we saw earlier, for comments, here also you click on that button, it comes with a pop-up there. You go ahead and click on the mic, which will enable speech to text, and you just talk to the app and it starts typing it for you. And similar to the other one, you will be able to upload the images also, right? Now from the data entry perspective, say for example in case of say address, you will be, again, we can default these address values and everything. For address, it's an alphanumeric keyboard. But if I go down there, right, for mileage, when I keep the cursor, it will come with the numeric keyboard. So like this, we will be able to control the data entry also, or data type also, when you are entering the values, right? So once you are done with this inspection, you will be able to submit this inspection and go to the next step in the process. Like for example, needs repair items will be listed in the failed items, so that you will be able to follow up things and then fix it, get it fixed and things like that, right? We also have the repair date there, where whenever it was repaired. We can also auto populate this repair date based on when it was fixed, like when this needs repair was clicked. So all those combinations are possible. So in this case, I'm going to say, hey, this repair was fixed today. So for that, we can even add one more option here called repaired. So things like that can be done because the whole product is configurable for us. The main thing here is once you hit save, this gets stored in the cloud. Not only it gets stored in the cloud, you will be able to access the PDF output of that inspection itself by clicking on the view PDF in the mobile, which shows up in your own format, or you will be able to go into this web, and I'm going to click on this field report. And then if you notice, there is this annual vehicle inspection report. Just now it got created with that unit number, with the mileage that was entered. And if I go ahead and click on the PDF, we will be able to generate the PDF in your own format with whatever value that was entered. Now, if you notice, the license plate and VIN number automatically shows up here based on the asset that was selected, right? So let me go down here. All the values that we entered shows up here, and also the comment that was entered shows up there. And if there was a picture that was uploaded, it will be as part of this report itself. So like this, you will be able to use iMarq app in a combination of mobile and the web to do your on day-to-day maintenance activities and also create annual inspections and DVARs.